Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Anexis Matos. Pronouns are they, them, and I am an author, freelancer, and content creator. And well, welcome to my channel. And today's video, which is basically plot predictions for a book I'm very excited to read. It's currently out, but I have not read it yet. So this was recorded before it was before the release date, but I am posting it now as well. Things happened, life happens. So here we are. I'm posting it now after release. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Before we begin, I'd like to say, first of all, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this video, and I also hope you enjoy the content. And if you do enjoy my content, consider subscribing and turning on notifications, and that way you're notified as to when my videos are uploaded, usually always at 6 p.m. No matter the day. I'll also try to keep you updated on community posts when things are coming. So that's that. Also, if you'd like to support me and my channel, you could get my debut book, which will be linked in the description. In the ebooks will be linked in the description. Ebooks and audiobooks will be linked in the pinned comment, as well as the community post during this video. So that will be there for you. It is the first book in a series called Child of Death. It is a short story about a half deity named Vivian, who's 8 years old and who is living in the mortal realm, and she is discovered, and now she and her family have to adjust to new changes. So that's where that is. And now she has to things have to change for her. So if you find this interesting, if you like short stories and things related to family and in a fantasy setting, this is the book that for you. And the I'm currently working on the second book, so it's one of 4 books. So you can get that in either you can pre-order it through the other retailers, or you can participate in my pre-sale that I am running through Smashwords, which will be available until release date, which is December 26th, 2023. If you choose to participate, consider leaving a review. I'd really appreciate it. You can also support me on Ko-fi with a donation, or you can check out the Ko-fi shop where you can get my ebook from as well. And very soon you'll be able to get my audiobook from there as well. So that's there. And or you can also hire me for my range of services that I have available, including book reviews, audio description critiques, and ghostwriting for poetry. And with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on the other side. So, I'd like to apologize. Even though I was going on information I had at the time, I was very much wrong with how the next book in the Blood and Ash series was actually going to happen. So my apologies for a couple of things I said in the original Blind Anticipates video for this, even though I feel like I was justified because of the information I had. I now have more information, and part of it came in the form of a newsletter by JenniferL.Armentrout. So it came from that, but now the full synopsis is available, and we have more things. And by the way, I actually have pre-ordered this book. So it will be arriving for me. I have pre-ordered this. I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. Like, this is the best thing right now. I'm having a great time. So I will say there is more to this, and I appreciate it. So now the order will be as expected. Now I can see, based on this new synopsis, why she listed it as book 5. And I can appreciate this a little bit more. This was actually kind of interesting. And looking at the this synopsis. So let's talk about it. And I want to give you a new set of predictions based on what we know now. Okay. Only his memories can save her. That is the first title, and I like this already. A great power. A great primal power has risen. Ooh, yes, yes. We know. It started in the War of Two Queens. Keep it up. The queen of flesh and fire has become the primal of blood and bone, which, by the way, is actually the title for the 6th book, and I'm super excited for it. The true primal of life and death. In the War of Two Queens, we do learn that there has not been a primal of life and death before, that she is the first, that Poppy is the first primal of life and death. And I cannot wait to see how that becomes a big part of the story. So in the beginning books, by the way, if I have not been clear, spoilers. In the beginning of the books, it does, we do see that she has the power to bring people back to life, like Sarah does in the Flesh and Fire series. So we know that she has the power to bring people back to life, like her grandmother, but she also has Nyctos's powers as well. So she has Sarah's healing power, and she also has the power to bring people back to life, but she also has the power to feel emotions like Nyctos. So now that she is going to be the primal of life and death, the question is, does she also get to, like, is she going to be able to pass on souls like Nyctos, and also presumably help pass them on, because it is possible that Sarah might be able to help ease souls now that when she becomes the primal of life in the Flesh and Fire. We haven't gotten there yet. So that is a good question now. So how is that going to be a big part? Because I know it's going to be a big part of the story. I know it because we still have this book, the 6th book, and the 7th book. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's 7 books, so I'm excited for this. Okay. Let me see. And the battle Castile, Poppy, and their allies have been fighting has only just begun. Ah, yes, because they accidentally woke Colas, the fake primal of life, who stole everything from Nyctos' dad. Gods are awakening across Elysium and the mortal realm, readying for the war to come. So what I'm getting at is that there are gods both in Elysium and the mortal realm. So I'm thinking that, because there are some places that just said, there are like some places where they stopped it, they're like, oh, this god sleeps here. So to me, it sounds like they were in the mortal realm, but I don't know how that happens unless because it says that unless they're born in the mortal realm, they can't go to the mortal realm, because they have there was a treaty that prevented the gods from being in the mortal realm, which I'm assuming will happen in the 3rd book, because the whole point is that originally the gods were allowed in the mortal realm, and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted, but also they eventually, by the time that Poppy's story takes place, they are not allowed by a treaty, which is why none of the gods woke up to help them with everything that was happening with the Ascended and all that stuff. So I'm wondering if these gods were born in the mortal realm originally, if these are like kind of like demigods or something, or deities, because they're the children of gods, and if they were born there and they just woke up now, or if they are just regular gods that just woke up there, or if they were gods that kind of found a way to stay in the mortal realm for some reason. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering who they are a little bit more. But they're preparing for the war to come. We also know from the War of Two Queens, as Nektas very much said, not all of the gods are allies of the primal of life of the primals of life and death. Not all of them are allies to Sarah, and not all of them are allies to Nyktos. So he did warn her about this. So it makes me wonder, what now? How are they going to divide that, and how are they going to deal with that now? Especially considering what we're going to read next. But when Poppy falls into stasis, Cass faces the very real possibility that the dire, unexpected consequences of what she is becoming could take her away from him. Oh, Cass, baby. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. But also, she goes into stasis. So we have not seen what it would be like for maybe Sarah to ascend. We don't know what that means for her. We don't know how that's gonna work out. But basically, but he did kind of. But Cass in the Crown of Gilded Bones did ascend her, in order to kind of to save her life, which almost made her eat Kieran. That was very funny. I'm sorry. So we don't know necessarily how that has how we don't know what it would be like for her to ascend into being a primal. So we kind of have now this. So I'm assuming that this is her ascension of sorts, since she technically does have embers of life and death in her, I guess. So I'm assuming this is kind of where she would, this kind of what her beginning of ascension would be like, I assume. And I can appreciate that. I feel bad for Cass, however. And this is their word. I think they did mention consequence of this, or like why it's so unusual for the primal of life and death to be a thing. But I cannot remember what they said about it in the War of Two Queens. But I do know that the primal of life and death was definitely going to be another woman. It was supposed to go for the female of the bloodline. And I can't remember everything that they said about that. But yeah. Cass is given some advice, though. Something he plans to cling to as he waits to see her beautiful eyes open once more. Talk to her. Oh, he's great as usual. I'm sorry, he's amazing as always. So he's going to talk to her. I think this is an interesting plot device for the story. I'll be honest. I think it is an interesting plot device because we're going to be... I wonder if he's going to take... If the narrator, or like him as the narrator, is going to be like breaking the fourth wall. Because if he's going to be telling the story from his point of view, I wonder if we're going to get him like... when I met you, it's gonna be like when I met you, or something like that. Like, I wonder if it's gonna be like that we're gonna be breaking the fourth wall a little bit. He's gonna be talking directly to her. I'm really wondering if that's the way that like that stuff is gonna be written. I mean, that's how I would write it. Like, I would write it the way I would write it if I'm gonna be talking to someone who just happens to be in stasis or whatever. If I was gonna write a story like that, if I'm gonna be switching to like say first person, it would be the narrator would be talking to the person and would be saying you, and they would be like doing that. So that's how I would write it. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be written anything like it, which I'm very curious about now. Okay, it just says, and so he does. He reminds Poppy how their journey began, revealing things about himself that only Kieran knows in the process. Ooh, okay. But it's anybody's guess what she'll wake up to, or exactly how much of the realm and Cass will have changed when she does. #1 New York Times bestselling author JenniferL.Armentrout revisits Poppy and Castiel's epic love story in the next installment of the Blood and Ash series, but this time Hawk gets to tell the tale. So let's talk about a couple of things that I'm seeing and that I'm excited about. So as I said, I'm wondering if it'll be like break the fourth wall kind of narration, but also it says here he does, and it says he reminds Poppy of how their journey began, revealing things about himself that only Kieran knows in the process. So the one thing I want to say about that is this. So I'm thinking, my prediction, I think I predicted in the first one, but I'm going to say it again. I do think we're going to get the red pearl scene written in here, because it was a bonus scene originally, but I think it's gonna be written into this story. I mean, it has to, because that was basically their meet cute. Their meet cute was in the red pearl, so I don't think it can outright be missing. So I believe that that red pearl scene is going to be there, but I also think we're going to get a better understanding of the struggle that he faced, because he didn't plan to fall in love with Poppy. Instead, he just kind of was planning to use her to get his brother back. So we're going to see that struggle of him falling in love with her, and probably mentioning the reasons he fell in love with her. I also think there's a possibility that we're going to learn about his relationship with Shay. I think we're going to learn more about his relationship with Shay. We're probably going to see more about his capture in oh guys, hold on a sec, give me 1 second, I have a package to pick up. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had a rush because my package came and I was expecting it today. Anyway, so I kind of lost my train of thought, but I'm pretty sure I was talking about okay, yeah, I think I was talking about this. So there's a strong possibility, I think, that we're gonna get more information, more about details into his relationship with Shay, and we there's a strong possibility of that. But I think there's also a possibility that and this is the one thing I hope we get, at least, we don't have to get everything, but at least some of it. I just want to get that feeling of like of satisfaction. I want to get that feeling of satisfaction. I really want that scene. And that one scene I talked about in the last part. So basically, if you in From Blood and Ash, there's a ceremony that the Duke is kind of late for, and they're like, where the hell is he? And then he kind of shows up, impaled and dead. And you find out later that Castile eventually realized that he was abusing Poppy and beating her physically for, no reason at all. And that he was doing all this, and he found out because he compelled the guards, and I guess they told them, some of them wouldn't quite know. I don't remember how everything about what the guards say, but I do know he found out. So he took things into his own hands and tortured the Duke and gave him a very bloody death. And I just want to see the scene where he approaches the Duke, and I want to see the torture a little, and I want to see his reaction by the end. I just want to get that feeling of satisfaction. I need it. I feel like I deserve it. I feel like it's good. So I want that scene, and that is the scene I want to get from there. So I think it's a possibility we're gonna get both, all of that stuff. I also just hope we get more of everything. I know we're definitely gonna get extra scenes. We're definitely gonna get extra scenes of him trying to figure out how to get Poppy out. Maybe him when he's away, because there's a lot of time when he is away from her. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get some of the repeated scenes, but I have a feeling we're gonna get other scenes as well, and I cannot wait to see those, honestly. Vanessa's here, but it's anybody's guess what she'll wake up to, or exactly how much of the realm and Cass will have changed when she does. So we don't know how long she's gonna be asleep. We don't know any of that. So I'm assuming we just don't know how she's going to be reacting to everything, and what would have changed by then. Is this gonna how is the war going to be? How is the war going to be by that time? I think that's a good synopsis. And now that we have more, I can now say that I will be reading this book as book 5. See? when we don't have all the information, we make assumptions, and that is what I did. So that is my second part. I don't know when I'm going to be releasing this at all. I'm actually not too sure when I'm going to be releasing this. I hope it is before the book is released, but I can't be sure. I have a bunch of videos to edit and schedule, so I can't be sure when I'm going to be releasing this. But if I release this before the book is actually released, the book itself is supposed to be released July 18th, 2023. I don't know when I'm going to be releasing this, but that's when it's supposed to be released in general. And I can't wait. I have pre-ordered it. Ooh, but wait. Before we go, let me see if we can find out who is narrating the book. Because I want to see if we have an idea who's narrating the book at the very moment. Hang on a sec. We're about to find out. We're about to see if there's anything, because I already know who's narrating The Fall of Ruin and Wrath, and that's going to be Kate Redding. So I'm very curious to see who might be narrating this. A Soul of Ash and Blood. Okay. A Soul of Ash and Blood. Here we go. Let's see if I can find out who's narrating. I hope I can. And I wonder if it's going to be the same dude. I'm assuming it might be the same dude who narrated Cass's point of view originally. What I do know is that this is going to be 24 hours. And I don't see a narrator listed yet. Gosh darn it. No, I don't see I don't see a narrator listed yet, so I guess we'll find out. So, yep, okay. That is all we have right now. So, let me know what you think about everything I just said. And, yeah, feel free to give me predictions. I want to talk about this, because this is gonna be an interesting book. I think it's an interesting way to go back to a story and examine it. I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm excited. I'm like very excited to read this book. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Before we end, I do want to make a slight correction. So when I was recording this this video, I said I went with some of the information I had, and at the time, at least some time before, I had read that this book would be narrated by Kate Redding. I was looking at the Audible when I was pre-ordering, and it said it was going to be narrated by Kate Redding, which I was really excited for because I like Kate Redding. The first time I heard the narration that they made was for Daniel Green's Breach of Peace and Rebel's Creed, which both books I like, and they were both narrated by Kate Redding and someone else. I can't remember the name, but Kate Redding was one of the narrators, and I was pretty excited for it. However, it looks like that has changed. And sorry, my thing is just talking. Thank you. Anyway, it looks like that has changed. Right now, the Audible link in the thing says that it's narrated by Sonila Nankani. If I'm reading it correctly. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. That was for the Fall of Ruin and Wrath, by the way, if you don't recall. That was for that specific book. So, yeah, I wanted to correct that just because, yeah. And by the looks of it, it will be narrated by, A Soul of Ash and Blood is narrated by the same person who narrated who narrated Castiel's point of view in The War of Two Queens. The book is out, as I mentioned in the intro, but I have yet to read it. I'm actually waiting for the third book in the Flesh and Fire series to come out, so I'm waiting for some time before reading it. But that's kind of where I'm at. I just want to make that correction. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my content, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. That way you will not miss a video. If you are interested in supporting me in this channel, consider getting my debut book. It is available for pre-order in a bunch of different retailers, all linked in the description and also the pinned comment, for both ebook and audiobook formats. It's also available. I'm running a pre-sale, so it's also available on Smashwords in a pre-sale that will be available until December 26th, 2023, which is the release date. It's also available in my Ko-fi shop. And speaking of Ko-fi, you can go to Ko-fi and either make a donation, look at my shop, and get the ebook, or you can hire me for a range of services, including book reviews for authors, beta reading, ghostwriting, poetry. Those are the three ones that I want to highlight. But I also have one for audio description critiques if you'd like them. So you have that there. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, consume stories. Bye!